Welcome to my new channel and my small wish. Always keep smile on your face. Please don't forget to subscribe. Your spot is my motivation. I never thought watching one video would turn my world upside down. But there he was, Jaxon Blake, laughing on screen, wind whipping through his messy black hair as he leaped off a rooftop into a pool 3 stories below. My heart jumped into my throat. Not from fear, but fascination. That smirk. That wild, magnetic energy. He was dangerous in the kind of way, you should stay away from, but can't. He was the bad boy of YouTube. And I couldn't resist. My channel was nothing like his. Madison was the type of girl who made cozy vlogs, makeup tutorials, day-in-my-life videos. My audience came to me for comfort. Jaxon's audience came for chaos. He had over 10 million subscribers. I had just hit 80,000. But still, I watched him. A lot more than I should have. It started with one flirty comment. He had posted a video of himself cliff diving, shirtless, of course, and I couldn't help it. I commented, "Do you ever not flirt with danger?" Winking face, I thought nothing of it, until 5 minutes later, I saw his reply. "Only if danger looks like you." My stomach flipped. And just like that, a spark lit between us. A spark that would soon grow into something much hotter. He followed me on Instagram later that night. I stared at the notification for 10 whole minutes before I dared open it. When I did, I saw his message. Just one word. Coffee. My heart was pounding. I hadn't even answered before I reread it a dozen times. Eventually, I wrote back, "Only if you promise not to jump off any buildings while we sip lattes." He replied, "Deal. But no promises if you wear red lipstick." When we met in person, I expected him to be all ego and adrenaline. But in real life, Jaxon was different. Still reckless, still impossibly good-looking in ripped jeans and a vintage tee, tattoos showing beneath his sleeves, but he had a softness in his eyes that videos never captured. Something real. I liked him more than I wanted to admit. We talked for hours at a little cafe in LA. We talked about YouTube, pressure, the hate we sometimes got, and the weird loneliness of being known by strangers. I never expected to have that much in common with someone so opposite from me. And yet, he listened like I mattered. Like he wanted to know every thought in my head. I left that coffee date smiling so hard it hurt. From there, things moved faster than I could process. He invited me over to his studio to brainstorm collab ideas. But once I was there, we didn't talk much about videos. We talked about life. And music. And his favorite poets. I didn't even know Jaxon liked poetry. He quoted something by Pablo Neruda and looked at me like I was the only person in the room. Our first kiss happened late one night after a long filming session. The cameras were off, the lights were low, and I was sitting on his couch, hugging a pillow. He leaned in, brushed my cheek with his knuckles, and said, "I've been wanting to do this since the first time I saw you." And then he kissed me, slow, deep, and full of heat. I melted into him. His lips were soft, but the way he kissed me, there was nothing soft about it. I couldn't think straight. I didn't want to. We didn't take it all the way that night. But the way his hands slid down my arms, the way his breath shivered against my skin, the way he whispered my name like it was a prayer, it lit something in me I couldn't ignore. I had never felt so wanted. For a while, we kept things quiet. We wanted it to be ours. Our secret. But soon the tension leaked into our content. Our first collab was titled, "Teaching the Bad Boy of YouTube How to Do Makeup." It was supposed to be funny, but it turned into something else. He sat between my legs, and I was trying to apply foundation while he kept looking up at me with this grin that screamed trouble. "You've got soft hands," he murmured. "Dangerously soft." I blushed so hard I had to edit out the part where I dropped the brush. The comment section exploded. The chemistry. Are they dating? This is too hot for YouTube. After that, the secret became harder to keep. Fans started noticing he showed up in my vlogs, even when I didn't tag him. I showed up in his videos, laughing at his dumbest jokes. And then one night, he posted a TikTok of us slow dancing in his kitchen. No captions. Just the two of us, swaying under warm lights. That was our soft launch. The full reveal came weeks later when we did a couples Q&A. And yes, we admitted it. We were dating. And honestly, falling for each other hard. It wasn't perfect. Fame never is. The backlash hit faster than I expected. Some people said I was using him for clout. Others said he wasn't good enough for me. But Jaxon was relentless in protecting us. Madison is the best thing that ever happened to me, he said in a live stream, and if you don't like that, unfollow me. I cried watching that clip. He made me feel safe, desired, adored. Every night, he'd pull me into his arms and kiss me like I was air and he'd been drowning. And when we made love for the first time, it was everything. That night, we were alone in his house, candles flickering, soft music playing. He undressed me slowly, like he was unwrapping something precious. His fingers trailed down my spine as his lips kissed my shoulder. "You're so beautiful, Madison," he whispered, pulling me into him. I could feel his heartbeat, wild, fast, matching mine. Every kiss got deeper, every touch more intense. His hands roamed my skin with purpose, memorizing every inch. I gasped when his lips moved lower, finding every soft spot that made me tremble. He was gentle when I needed gentle, wild when I craved wild. We made love slowly, deeply, until the whole world disappeared. Just skin and breath and emotion. When it was over, I curled into his chest and he whispered, "I never knew it could be like this." I smiled, kissed his collarbone, and whispered back, "Me neither." From that night on, something shifted. We became inseparable. He calmed down, started making more thoughtful content. I became bolder, stepped out of my comfort zone. We built something solid in a world that's constantly shifting. We traveled. We filmed. We made memories. One weekend in New York, he surprised me with a romantic rooftop dinner. Just us, fairy lights, and the sound of the city. That's when I knew I loved him. And I told him so. He didn't say anything right away. He just stared at me, eyes wide, like he couldn't believe it. Then he cupped my face, kissed me hard, and said, "Madison, I've been in love with you since that comment you left." He made me laugh until I cried. He held me through my panic attacks. He told me I was his peace. I told him he was my fire. A year later, he proposed. Right back at that cafe where we first met. He had the whole thing recorded, hidden camera and all. He got down on one knee, slid a simple diamond ring onto my finger, and said, "From the moment you made fun of me in the comments, I knew you were mine. Will you keep being my chaos, my calm, and my forever?" I said yes with tears streaming down my face. The proposal video? It hit over 10 million views. Our story touched hearts everywhere. But what mattered most was the way he still looked at me the same way he did that first day, like I was the most unexpected, irresistible thing that had ever happened to him. He was the bad boy of YouTube. But with me, he was more. He was soft, loyal, wildly romantic, and completely mine. And if I had to live it all over again, the DMs, the rumors, the passion, the risks, I'd still click on that first video. I'd still comment. I'd still fall. Because falling for Jaxon Blake wasn't a mistake. It was the best thing I ever did. Please don't forget to subscribe.